Thank you, Dan. Mark Batinick, 97th District, Plainfield area. I wanted to start by just giving everyone a little bit of an idea of where I've come from on this entire issue. 2 weeks ago, actually 2 weeks ago, just about right this moment, I did a radio show. I decided to buy radio time to talk about some more of the nuances of the issues facing us, COVID and many other things. And I bought a radio show to talk about the importance of vaccinating people who are pregnant, which I can tell you was kind of shocking for the base to hear. But I tell that story just to let you know that in terms of following science and data and what's important, no matter where that leads us, I think that's where we need to go, and we need to do it in an open matter. I'd like to anonymously quote one of my Democratic colleagues who said, we may all come to the same conclusion, but we need to do this publicly and transparently. And clearly we haven't done that yet. So we're not here today to call for any very specific changes to any way we've gone down this path. We just want to do it publicly, the path that we choose on a moving forward basis. And it's really a process argument. We can't accept a process simply because we like an outcome. That outcome might change. You look at other states. I don't think the governor should have the authority to do nearly 2 years of 30-day emergency orders and do all these rules and mandates any more than I think Governor DeSantis in Florida should be doing, mandates saying that you can't add the layer of protection of masks at the local level, right? That's not the way it's meant to be done. We're meant to have a legislative input for a reason. It's also a matter of trust a little bit. I think you're seeing a lack of trust in government. I think it's pretty fair to say there's a big lack of trust from many in our many of our citizens because of the lack of transparency. You have elected officials that maybe take statistics and data out of context pretty significantly. And if we were to have a more open and transparent process, I think you'd probably have more compliance with what we're doing and more trust. And in my most recent letter to the governor, my original discussions with the governor, I always said we need to have public buy-in. The things need to make sense to people. And right now I feel like we're losing the public buy-in on the pandemic and how to move forward. And I just want to highlight a couple of reasons why the discussion is important to do it publicly. My wife is an SRT, which is a student resource teacher, which is special ed. She's basically middle management at a school for special ed, K through 5. And, she was just telling me a situation of an autistic kid that may not be able to stay in school because having trouble with wearing the mask. I'm not sure that's in the best interest of our society for that kid to have to comply with a mask mandate that they're having a really hard time complying with. There's nuances to this. The World Health Organization looks at it differently than the CDC looks at it. When you go back in time to when we closed schools, I think many of us are going to look back and say that might not have been the right decision to have so many schools closed. There's a huge difference in life expectancy based on income. If you Google this, you'll find out that the highest 1% and lowest 1%, there's about a 10-year life expectancy difference for women, 15-year life expectancy difference for men based on income gap. The kids that didn't have the ability to stay in school, especially the ones that don't have two-parent homes, middle income, access to tutors, all that, you're going to see long-term effects on their income, which affects their life expectancy, which ultimately is what this is supposed to be about. So I get a little tired about listening to the experts when we're not having a situation when we're listening to all the experts. We're not listening to special ed teachers. We're not listening to sociologists talk about income gaps. We're not listening to people that to talk about potential increase in violence. I know in our local school districts, we're just having a lot of difficulty with the kids being in control because they've been out of school so long. So there's a lot of nuance to this. There's a lot of public debate that needs to be happening that isn't happening. And probably one of the biggest issues that I get asked in my district office is about a mandate for kids to go to school, vaccine mandate for kids to go to school. And I'm not here to answer whether or not we should be doing that or not. But my question to you that I'd like to see asked of the governor is, does the governor think he has the authority to mandate a vaccine for school kids without public input, without the legislature? And I haven't seen anybody ask that question. That's what this is really all about. We're looking to be a co-equal branch of government and manage this best we can, because I think we can bring a lot of different viewpoints to the table. Once again, it needs to be done publicly and transparently.